Hey guys, it's Grace again. I am so happy that I made it here tonight. We are like off and on struggling with one age group or another as far as getting them into bed, whether it's our 2-year-old twins or it's our 4 and 5-year-old girls. So I don't really like to do the lives when I hear them like screaming and crying and stuff. So, but here I am. They are in bed. They're quiet. Thank God. And we're here together. So thank you so much for joining me, Shauna, Alicia, Logan. It's really great to have y'all here. Kevin, thank you for joining me. I just wanted to talk about tonight more about our mission in the handmade cleaning community. I know that a lot of people on my friends list are part of it, but a lot of people aren't, and everyone is welcome to join. And I just wanted to really touch on like where I started with that, and what it is that we're doing, like the purpose of what we're doing. We all have a why, whether we know it or not. A lot of us, don't know what our why is. And so that can be kind of, hold us back in a lot of ways if we aren't really doing what we do with purpose. So I am asking all of you to share why you do what you do. And I also want to share with y'all about why I do what I do. And I really think that going back to the beginning, and a short little clip is super important to understanding all of our whys, because really our foundation can have a huge impact on like where our unique journey begins and where it takes us as far as how we respond to the things that we've been through. So from the time that I was little, I know I've shared this before with, and different articles and things that I've written and videos that we've shared. But I grew up in a home that was like super, really conservative and really hippie at the same time. I don't know how that's possible. Also very devout Catholic. And they were just very like minimalists that like didn't believe in spending money on anything frivolous, like literally at all, not even like cookies for kids. And they also didn't really believe in keeping a clean house. I guess maybe that was my mom's excuse not to clean ever. So I grew up like always wanting to clean. I think those were kind of like the more simple problems that, my environment had as a kid. And so in that environment, I think I found something that I could control and to bring positivity to it. And hi, Leslie. I'm really glad you're here. Thanks for joining us. So, so when I, came into that part of my life where I discovered that like fun place that I could escape to, I just like kept going with it, and I would even sometimes pretend like I was a princess in a castle, and I was helping a maidservant that I had in the castle with me, and she became my best friend. And like these memories are seriously, they feel like yesterday. And I think honestly, on some level, children have a unique ability to really like see things very simply and very honestly. I'm sure we've all experienced that with our own kids or other people's kids, unfortunately, when it's not so convenient. But in this way, I think it really was convenient for me and continues to be. And that is just that I think I had an awareness of that control that I could have and the positivity that I could bring into my own environment, sneaking away and cleaning and whatnot, but also just the imaginary games that I played. I had a sense of, like, you know, the princess being friends, best friends with the maid, just that they're equal and that they could become friends. And that there was, like, in my mind, I don't think at the time I saw any shame about it at all. I just, or weirdness or whatever, or any kind of like, oh, this is a cool story. Just, you know, I loved to clean as a kid. And so I just figured that was a good scenario. So I think our mission kind of stems from that idea, that childlike method of dealing in a therapeutic way with our lives. And that is, we are not the same, but we are equal. And I think that that's something that we kind of miss a lot in society. And when you are doing something and you're doing it with care and you're doing it with love, whatever it is that you're doing is going to come out the greatest that it can be in that moment. And obviously skill and experience, training, understanding of what you're doing is going to grow over time. But you always have a better outcome of whatever you're doing if there is that true deep care for what you're doing. So I think it kind of boils down to that. And honestly, whether it's cleaning or it's working out in the field, like doing another service industry, even being a lawyer or a doctor, if you aren't putting your heart into it, what you give won't be as good. It won't be as good for the people around you. And obviously cleaning's the same way. And I know that there's this stigma on it that it's automatically something that holds people to a status of being like lower. And I think a lot of us don't really think about it, don't really want to think about it maybe. And I'm not at all here to like sit there and demand respect and awareness in that kind of way. What we are here for is, while we're like presenting the idea that it is a skilled labor and that it doesn't deserve to be treated as anything other than that, we also are really big on and encouraging a culture in our community as a whole, in the handmade cleaning community, of encouraging the cleaners also to respect themselves, but in that they will know if they're respecting themselves if they are respecting those around them, whether it's employers, employees, clients, the homes that they're in, the way that like we even talk about things. We have more like a sensitive view. It's not so much sensitivity. We can't say that. It's more just an awareness of, this is respectful and this is not respectful. This is a good and healthy way to vent. This is not a good and healthy way to vent. This is going to help you become a better person, a better cleaner, a better homeowner, hiring cleaners. This attitude is not a healthy thing that, you know, that you want to spread to the rest of our community. So we're getting stricter and stricter about that. And I think that it's really important. It's not nitpicky. It really is that foundation for what it is that we're doing. So, yeah, I think there has been just a culture in our society that is very loud, and nobody really talks about cleaners in a light that is respectful as much. Just really, they don't. And it's not even intentional, I think. I think that there's a lot of people that it's just so ingrained in us. It's kind of like a glass ceiling. We're just capping ourselves off, especially us in the cleaning industry, as business owners, as coaches, as leaders. We all need to come together and recognize that to uphold the service that we're representing and the people who do it, and like really having a respect for what they're doing, and you know, just understanding and staying connected with what is the healthiest products and what it is that is going to give them the tools to really serve their clients better. And I know that there's a lot of people that are doing that, and that's so awesome. But just really having that connection with the cleaners and that respect for the cleaners as their leaders is vital to like the whole industry as a whole, uplifting what it is that they do on a daily basis, and having that respect presented to the rest of our society as well. So that's what we're doing. That's what we are doing. We are getting, you know, intentionally reaching out for press, wanting people to understand this thought process, because the other side has been so loud for so long. I actually, this is something that I just recently noticed, and I encourage all of you to do this over the weekend when you're watching your movies. Notice whether or not there's cleaning professionals in it, whether a janitor or a maid or just somebody, that a window washer. Especially, I think janitors often are in movies. And just ask yourself, is their position in the movie, are there people that make even like little comments, or is there some sort of like unsaid sort of just like they're not important, or that it's funny, like to poke fun at them? And I know this, I'm not trying to make victims out of us, because we're not victims. But if we let that continue, then we're continuing to let ourselves be victims, right? So it's more just, hey guys, let's wake up and recognize that what these people are doing does not make them as people lesser people. And also, what they're doing is actually vital to our society. It's actually really, really good what they're doing. So yeah, I encourage you to check that out. Really pay attention, because if it's not Made in Manhattan or, let's see, Cinderella, you probably won't see a lot of respect being given to cleaners in movies, even these days. So yeah, that's something that I definitely think is a cool, like, little tidbit that you can look at, because it is such a loud, just everybody knows this. Everybody sees it this way. Nobody has talked about it any differently. Nobody's brought up this conversation before, so it doesn't really exist, right? Well, it does. So we're here. We want to talk about it. We want to figure it out with all of you, and we'd love to see you in the community as well. To share your experiences and to learn from the other people there, and to see what it is that these girls and guys have to offer, as far as, you know, just their love for what they do and the experiences that they've had, and continue to have, and what they do for our communities. So, okay, guys, I am going to relax and go to bed soon. And hopefully all of you are too, especially you on the East Coast. All right, take care. Good night.